What's up guys, Trilogy here. We are halfway through the year, so we're going to be doing a best top 10 movies of 2022 so far. The date is June 16th, so we're like halfway through the year, and we're here to finish it up with the end of the year review. I wonder if any of these movies are going to make it to the end of the year. I have a couple that I think are going to. Before we jump into it, I'm Trilogy. I do movies, gaming, anime, all kinds of stuff like that on my channel. We do reviews, reactions, all kinds of stuff like that. You should definitely check it out. I have curated playlists on my channel. And with that said, let's jump into the list today. So starting at number 10, this may be surprising to some people, but I'm gonna throw Marry Me on here. I like Marry Me with Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez, I think, about a singer who gets cheated on, and then she sees Owen Wilson in the crowd, and he's holding up a Marry Me sign that one of his friends was actually holding into a moment prior, and she says, "Yes, I will marry you." And it's a pretty cool intermix between a normal everyday man and a superstar pop star and how their marriage goes on, you know? And it was on Peacock. I don't know if it's still on Peacock. It was like when it came to theaters, it was also on Peacock at the same time. So that's why I watched it. And I think Marry Me was a very good romantic comedy. Looking at my list, it might be my favorite romantic comedy of the year, although I'm not a big romantic comedy fan, I guess. They're cool, you know, there's a lot of them are cool. I wouldn't say I'm against it, but they probably aren't my top 3 genre. Moving on to number 9, our number 9 is going to be The Lost City, which is going to have, wow, I forgot her name. It's going to have Channing Tatum and, well, I have to look it up because I can't believe I forgot her name. So it's Channing Tatum. I don't know why I want to say Angelina Jolie, but it's not her. It's thinking Sandra Bullock. Channing Tatum, Sandra Bullock. It also has Brad Pitt, who is, I'm not a big Brad Pitt fan, but he is my favorite character in this movie. Also has Daniel Radcliffe. So there's quite a few stars in this movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's a bit predictable, but it was an enjoyable ride for what it was, and that's why it's made it to the 9th place spot. I saw this in theaters. I don't know if it came to streaming yet. I don't think so. I think it's still early. It's probably on disc if you want to check it out, but that's why The Lost City is my number 9. Up next for number 8, we're actually getting some action-packed things. This is gonna go for Jurassic World Dominion, the final movie in the Jurassic Park franchise for now. You know how it is when something makes a lot of money. This is a intermix of the 2 trilogies. It's gonna have our old characters, Dr. Sadler, Ian Malcolm, all those other characters mixing in with Owen and Claire, the new generation. And although I don't feel like the plot was super cohesive in this movie, hence it being kind of higher on the list at number 8, and compared to the other Jurassic Park movies, it's not the best. But compared to the other movies that came out this year, I think it definitely earned the 8th place spot. There was some action, some comedy, dinosaurs, you put people and dinosaurs together. I mean, you have to mess up the movie at that point. You already have a great premise. So that's why Jurassic World Dominion is number 8. Up next, and this was a pleasant surprise. This is Chip and Dale. I don't know if it's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers or just Chip and Dale. The Chip and Dale movie, it came on, what did I watch that on? Disney Plus. This was a Disney movie. And this movie was a pleasant surprise. I actually had heard reviews that it was really good for a while, so I added it to my watch list. One day when I was bored, I just put the movie on, and I was in for a pleasant surprise. You see, it was better than the Jurassic Park Dominion movie, and that's like a blockbuster movie, I like the humor. It was very meta. I really enjoyed Chip and Dale, where they have the 2D animated Chip, I think, and then the 3D animated Dale. And then we have, I think, John Mulaney, and then we have Andy Samberg. Yeah, and there's some other actors in there, but I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty cool. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Rescue Rangers when I was younger, so I don't even have the nostalgia for it. I just really enjoyed this movie. Chip and Dale was really good, and you can catch it on Disney Plus if you're still wanting to see this movie. That's our number 7. Number 6, we're gonna switch to anime. Like I said, I do anime on my channel. Then that's gonna be Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which is basically, if you've seen the anime show, this is a prequel to the beginning of the show. So it takes place, we do see some characters that we're familiar with, Panda, Gojo, Jojo, you know, those characters. We do see them in this movie, even though it takes place before then. I wasn't really, I didn't really connect with Yuta, the main character, like I do with Itadori from the actual TV show. But I thought the movie was still pretty good, hence it earning a 6th place spot on the list for as far as movies go. If you're not a big fan of sub, they do have it in dub and sub. I don't know if it's on streaming yet, but I did see it in dub, so I know it's out there. But that's it, that's gonna be it. If you like anime, this is probably one of the best beginner animes to get into. It is kind of dark, but it's not super complicated. There's not a lot of fan service, you know, none of that cringe stuff. Jujutsu Kaisen is an amazing anime to watch. Up next, we're going to be doing number 5, and I know a lot of people would probably put this higher on their list, but for me, number 5 is going to be The Batman. And The Batman with Robert Pattinson was a pleasant surprise. I know a lot of people weren't sure if he was going to be able to do the job, and he does the job. He does the job. It's a great Batman movie. I won't say it's my favorite. I think that still goes to The Dark Knight Rises, I think. The last one. I like the one with Bane, and I know a lot of people like the Heath Ledger Joker, but my favorite Batman movie is going to be the 3rd one in the Nolan trilogy. But this is going to be my 2nd favorite Batman movie, and it's close. You know, I have to give it time to age. Watch it again. I've only seen it once, whereas I've seen the Nolan trilogy several times. I don't think it's as good as everyone says, but they are still very good movies. This movie was also good. We got to see Catwoman, we got to see Penguin, we got to see the Riddler. And the Riddler, I really like this interpretation of the Riddler where he's not cheesy and flamboyant. They went with the Hush version of Riddler, which I feel like if they had adapted the Hush version a little bit better, this movie would have been better. But overall, the Batman is still really good. And starting up here from this point on, I think these movies will probably make it to my best movies of the year, unless some crazy other movies go. So The Batman is probably still going to be on this list. It might be a little bit lower at my end of the year video, but it's still pretty good. You know, I think it'll have that lasting power that it needs to make it to the end. My number 4 movie, and I haven't heard many people talking about this. Like, I think I follow like one YouTuber who talks about this, but Scream 5, I thought Scream 5 was really good. I mean, you've seen the Scream movies, you know, you've seen one, you've seen all of them, is what you can say. But I really like this movie. It's another one of those things where we got a mixture of an older cast with a younger cast, and I think they did it really well. It's very cohesive, much better than the cohesiveness in Jurassic World Dominion, in my opinion. But you know, it's a slasher film. There were some funny moments, there were some tense moments. I really like this movie. It came out at the beginning of the year, and it really made me a Scream fan, because I wasn't the biggest Scream fan. Like, I think I had seen the first one, but this one is my favorite Scream movie, given that I haven't seen all of them. But I've seen a couple, and this one was really good, and that's why it made it to number 4 on my list. Like, I think that's controversial because I haven't heard anyone else talking about this movie, but for me, I'm gonna put it at number 4. Up next for number 3, we're in our top 3 movies. This is gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which, listen, when they had Ugly Sonic out, which was a meta moment, and the Chip and Dale movie, but when they had Ugly Sonic, I was just like everyone else. I said, what is that? What is that? That's not Sonic, man. That is not Sonic. Who is that? Who is that? But then when I first finally saw the movie, we bullied them into revamping Sonic, and he looked amazing. He looked great, and the first movie was a sleeper. People were asleep on that movie, but it was really good. Going into the second movie, I was like, okay, they got Tails, but you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Tails. They have Knuckles. I like Knuckles, except for when they make him a super dumb idiot type brute, like a himbo, you know. I don't like that. But after leaving the theater, I was like, wow, that movie was better than the first one. And I didn't think the movies could get better. Like, I'm gonna say it. We got Super Sonic in this movie, but we got Super Sonic. That's crazy. That is crazy that we got Super Sonic in this movie. And even before then, I was thoroughly enjoying this movie. We skipped the origin, we skipped the slow build-up, we just got straight into the action. And this movie was just a roller coaster the whole time. That's why I'm putting it at my number 3 spot. I don't care what anyone else says, controversial or not. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was an amazing movie. My number 2 spot, and this was a really good movie, trippy too, and this is gonna be Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And man, this is a year for multiverse movies, because between this and then Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it's just a crazy mixture of multiverse. But I think this movie is amazing, man. I love the premise. I love the connection between the mom and the dad, you know. Sorry, I said the mom and the dad. Oh yeah, well, I do mean the mom. I can say that, the connection between the mom and the dad, but I meant the mother and the daughter. But the mom and the dad also do have a cool connection. I love the ideas of this. I love the rock scenes. I love now, I think they went a little too far with the hot dog dimension, but everything else about that dimension, like her relationship with the tax collector and everything, that was pretty cool. This movie, I can't really complain about anything in this movie. There was a lot of action, there was comedy, humor, and the daughter's outfits throughout this movie slay, or whatever the kids are saying, because those outfits were amazing. So that's why Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is my number 2 movie for a movie of the year. Before we get to our number 1, I do want to just say thank you for making it this far. You might as well just go ahead and subscribe so you can check out my end of the year movie review. I do other movie things all the time. I would really appreciate the support. And with that said, let's go to our honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, that's going to be Fantastic Beast, The Secrets of Dumbledore. This is going to be the 3rd out of 5 Fantastic Beasts movies, and obviously this one was much better than the second, in my opinion. The Crimes of Grindelwald, was that the first? Yeah, The Crimes of Grindelwald. That movie was not that good, honestly. The first one was really good, you know, when they were actually trying to catch beasts. You know, there's like the Secret Wizard War plot, and then there's the Beast plot, and I really like the first one because most of it was Beast plot. The second one was really more Wizarding World, and then this one has a little bit of both, you know, but it's still mostly wizard plot, although I think they balanced it much better. I like Harry Potter. I was a much bigger fan when I was a kid. The first 4 or 5 movies are really amazing. Like, I can sit down and watch those almost any time, but 6, 7.1, and then 7.2, it's just like, those movies are much darker, they're longer, and it's just, the magic doesn't feel as warm, and it's more of a darker feel, because, you know, after Voldemort comes back, you know, it's crazy, but after Sirius dies in the 5th movie and book, it just really gets really dark. So usually, those are when I prefer. This one doesn't really have the tone of the earlier books, it has more of the tone of the later books, and I thought it was all right, you know, so that's why it's on the honorable mention list. It didn't make top 10, but it was close. Up next is going to be Uncharted with, not Mark Wahlberg. Geez, how do I forget his name? All these people are so similar. It has Uncharted. This is going to be with Tom Holland. And then it also has, it was Mark Wahlberg. Now I'm getting it right. I thought that was the other guy. Yeah, it has Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg. Those are going to be the main 2 characters as Nathan Drake and Sully. I thought this movie was enjoyable. I don't think it was worth the criticism that it got. Like, a lot of people said it sucked. I thought it was all right, but obviously, you know, it wasn't that great if it didn't make top 10. But when I thought about the movies that I enjoyed this year, I did enjoy this movie, and that's why it's going to be making it to our honorable mention list. The final movie that I have for honorable mentions is going to be Death on the Nile. Death on the Nile starring Gal Gadot, who is Wonder Woman, if you didn't know. This is going to be I think it's based off of a Sylvia Plath book. Does she do no, she's not the one that does the mystery books. I can't remember, honestly, but this one has a crazy big cast. It has Kenneth Branagh, Tom Bateman, who plays Matt Murdock, Letitia Wright, who plays, who does she play? She plays Black Panther's sister. We also have Russell Brand in there. This movie was pretty enjoyable. I didn't predict the killer, which I love to do in murder mysteries, try to figure out who the killer is. Wasn't able to get it right, but hey, that's just part of the ride. But yeah, guys, no, I've kept you waiting long enough. Our number 1 movie for this year is going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I don't care what anyone else says. This movie is amazing. When I saw it, did I know it was going to be my movie of the year so far? No, but I just love everything about this. It kind of edges above Everything Everywhere at Once. They both have multiverse things, which I love. I love multiverse, time travel, space, stuff like that. But this one has superhero recognition. It's a Marvel movie, which I love Marvel. It's Doctor Strange, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I really liked his first movie, although that was another sleeper. No one was talking about Doctor Strange until they started talking Doctor Strange, and then they started talking about Doctor Strange 2. Everyone's like, Doctor Strange 2, I can't wait. But I was like, none of these people were around when Doctor Strange 1 was out. I was like the only one raving about Doctor Strange 1. But this movie was crazy. The plot twist with Wanda, the cameos, the setup for the multiverse. It is just crazy. I had to put this movie at number 1, and I can't think of anything else coming this year that might be better. Maybe Thor: Love and Thunder, but I can't think of anything else that's going to remove Doctor Strange 2 off of the top of this list. It's definitely going to remain in the top 10. Like I said, pretty much everything 5 and up, I might lose the Batman, is going to probably still stay on this list. But thanks for making it to the end, guys. I'm Trilogy or Trilogy Effect. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball playing, like Bird, Magic or something. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?